Hey folks, happy Saturday. Hope everything's well. Got my beach hat on. If you didn't know it, I'm a beach guy, pool guy at heart. Flip-flopping is my style. But anyway, that's not why we're here. I want to talk about decisive leadership today and making tough decisions. There was a post that provoked this, talking about how do you say no to TDY when orders and or DTS are last minute in getting approved? Well, folks, it's hard to do that. I understand the dilemma. But sometimes you got to be the leader that you always wanted to have. You got to make those tough decisions, man, because your soldiers look up to you. Doesn't matter what rank you are. If you got soldiers under you, they're looking up to you. They can look up to you for good or bad reasons. It's up to you. And they may not always agree with your philosophy. So I want to use an example. I want to get to the point here because I don't want to take all your time. I was a first sergeant, and we were playing the whole, money game, last minute order game, last minute DTS game, right? So I think everybody understands the message about DTS. How many times have we been told if your DTS isn't approved, you don't travel, right? But how many times do we still travel? We screw it up time and time again. You know the definition of insanity, right? Right. So I started saying no to hire as a first sergeant. Okay. DTS was rather new to me still. It came in about 2007, I think. And so, so I started pushing back. And I said, you know what? My troops aren't going to do that. We're not going to go to that thing. Huh? What are you talking about, First Sergeant? You guys got to go. No, we don't. We don't. Well, the JTR says, the JTR says I ain't got to go. You're right. My stuff ain't approved. I ain't traveling. So that's what you got to do as leaders. It's tough. It's hard. Okay? Fast forward. COVID. Command Sergeant Major Brownback. Well, we don't know if we're going to AT. See, what we often do is we excuse decision making for things, right? We blame it on a thing. Well, it's COVID's fault that we can't make a decision on annual training. That ain't COVID's fault. That's weak leadership is what that is. So anyway, missions were getting canceled, man. Guardian response, CSTX, big time stuff getting canceled. Well, what are we going to do about AT? We know we got to get an AT, man, because every fiscal year we go down to the wire, man. September of the month, we're looking after even Unsat Johnny. Unsat Johnny, who didn't get an AT, now all of a sudden can do a home station AT. I think some of y'all know where I'm coming from, right? So I had 25 days worth of order time already in when COVID hit in March of 2019. Well, my brigade commander didn't know this, okay? So time rolled along, and we were going to do Operation Ready Warrior as an AT. Well, Hire was basically wanting it to fail. What happens when you want things to fail or you fail to plan? They don't go well. They don't go well at all. So it got down to like 20 days out. And I had told my commander I'm not going. My commander wasn't going because we already did enough order days in the fiscal year. So we're leading by example. We're not exposing ourselves to COVID that everybody's so intimidated by and afraid of, right? For the mission, right? Brigade commander was up in arms, man. Had a call with him and I about our decision, and it was quite comical, actually, because the brigade commander couldn't do anything about it. Couldn't really do anything about it because we weren't wrong. So we said, no, we're not going. And I used the had a work conflict, okay? Leading by example. But boy, it's frowned upon. It's viewed as you're not leading by example, Sergeant Major, because you're not going to the mission. I am leading by example because I'm being safe in conjunction with COVID and the restrictions and everything everybody's afraid about, and the reason we got here in the first place with this last minute decision making and indecisiveness as leaders. Weak leaders. Okay? And if the battalion command team doesn't know what's going on at 30 days out, something's broken, something's wrong. Okay? So sometimes you got to push back. My point is, you got to push back. All right? With rank comes gripe rights. Get used to it. Okay? It's not all kumbaya. It ain't all roses and rainbows. And if it is, you're probably not doing your job. So when you start out as a staff sergeant, gripe rights. Okay? Rockers, gripe rights. You start getting a little pissed off. It's common. All right? And it just goes on up from there. You can still be political. You know, you can still be pleasant. You can try bees with honey at first. But sometimes you got to get tough. And, you know, it might even mean saying no to a school at some point. Get those orders last minute, 24 hours out for your employer and stuff. You might just have to say no to make a point. All right? And they're not going to do anything to you. They can't. How are they going to do something to you? I mean, has everything been done right up to that point? Likely not. Have you been, you know, if you've been counseled that these dates were coming, and in writing you agreed to those dates and those dates have not changed, that's different. That's different because you knew what you signed up for. You signed up for that AT, those dates, which by the way in 2019 was not the case. The dates changed. Even for ORW, they shifted right. That was another reason why I decided not to go. Okay? So as leaders, you got to push back. Stop letting things make decisions for you. Okay? Things, obstacles, challenges do not excuse decision-making capabilities. There's a thing called decisive leadership. Yeah, I got it. There's a thing called collaboration too. But sometimes there's not time for collaboration. And if you don't have all players on your team with an open mind, willing to collaborate, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. We use that word collaboration like candy. Collaboration means you got, you know, most buy-in, not all. You got most buy-in of the team for the decisions that are going to be made. All right? It's hard to get to that. Hard to get to that point sometimes, especially as TPU leadership. All right? So, what provoked this post, this video, was talk about, can I say no? Can I say no and push back on last-minute orders and DTS approval? You absolutely 110% can. And you need to take ownership of that. And you need to do it for your soldiers. Okay? Now, if my soldier comes back and says, well, Sergeant Major or First Sergeant, I want to go no matter what. Okay, you want to go no matter what? Got it. I'm typing up an email. I'm typing up something in writing that states that this soldier said that. Okay? Because it's CYA. It absolutely is. And when you come back making that decision on your own, okay, own that decision, and you run into government travel card, additional charges, issues that you didn't expect, all right, own that too. Own that too, make the corrections and get the wheel running forward again, all right? Tough conversation. I got it. There's not always absolute black and white regulation to cover every single thing. But I'm here to tell you, you make these decisions, you take care of your soldiers, you lead your soldiers, let leading circumvent and overcome adversity and things, and you will be a lot better off. You will feel better off. Your troops overall will respect you. They don't have to love you. They will respect you and that capability to make decisions. All right? All right. Have a good day. Cool.